When I was younger, I was 100 pounds soaking wet, around 5'4", 5'5". I was always one of the skinnier guys, and I was never very strong either. I remember this one time, if you've ever had like a fitness festival for your school, there was one event where I got invited. I was one of the few people who actually got invited. And there were different competitions, like in track and field, and max push ups and max pull ups, and who could jump the furthest, like in the long jump. And I remember one time where we did the pull up test. I got, I want to say 5 reps or 6 reps. Thought I was good. I came first place in the boys category because everybody else there were like football players and like actual athletes. I was just a skinny guy who was able to do like a couple pull-ups, which again wasn't very impressive. And this tiny little girl, maybe like 4 foot something, pretty light as well, goes up, cranks out 8 pull-ups, and I lose. I lost a pull up competition to a girl. So when I say that I wasn't very strong, I wasn't very heavy, I didn't have anything going for me quite naturally, I do mean it. If you're somebody who's experienced something similar, somebody who's skinny, somebody who hasn't put on a ton of muscle, then this is for you. Because I just want to say now that I've put on over 40 pounds of muscle since then, that I've become pretty strong, like doing 100-pound weighted pull ups for multiple reps, 110-pound weighted dips, bench pressing 200 pounds for multiple reps, deadlifting nearly 400 pounds. Stuff has changed quite a bit. And if I didn't put on this muscle, if I didn't put on this strength, most of my friends are athletes. So I wouldn't be friends with a lot of them because we just wouldn't have something to be relatable about. I wouldn't have been as confident as I am. I wouldn't be able to speak on camera like this in such a convincing way because the only way for me to be confident in what I'm talking about is something fitness related. That's what I talk about. That's what I do. And it genuinely has changed my life to go from point A, 100 pounds, soaking wet, not very heavy, not very strong, to where I'm at now, roughly 140 pounds, 145 pounds, maybe teetering to that side, and honestly, pretty freaking strong for my size. So I've solved the issue of being skinny and how to fix it. And I know you're probably thinking, well, it's as simple as training 6 times a week, 10 to 20 sets per muscle group, and that's how I get bigger and stronger, right? That's all the advice you hear online. Number one, that's false. You don't need nearly as much effort as that in order to get bigger. And that's just for size training. That's just for getting larger. If you want to get stronger, you actually do less than that. You would train probably in between 4 and 5 times a week, less than 10 sets per muscle group. And not even per muscle group, per movement, because strength and muscle are completely different when it comes to training. But number two, you're still an amateur. Imagine a fat guy going to a running club and trying to do like the top highest level like group of people. So how a running club works is that they'll have groups, like they'll have group A and then group B and group C, and the closer you get to group A, the further you run and the more advanced those people are, and you get to choose who you train with. Imagine the fat person going in and being like, yeah, I want to go with group A. The people who run half marathons every day, like 10 to 15 miles, do you think he's really going to be able to do that consistently and actually be able to uphold that level? Do you think he'll even be able to do it once? Of course not, because he's not used to it, because his body hasn't adapted. And a lot of people, when they first start out, they think because what they see on Jeff Nippard's show, Jeff Nippard's YouTube channel or whatever, that they're able to just start and they'll be completely good. That they'll be able to do 6 times a week, 10 to 20 sessions or exercises and sets per muscle group or whatever, and they'll be fine. But that's not how that works. Beginners need less. And I'm going to be teaching you exactly all of the problems you might have and the solutions. So, number one, you're skinny. Gaining weight is as simple as calories in and calories out. It's the same with losing weight. So if you're a heavier guy watching this, then at the same time, just eat less calories. How you figure out how many calories you need is you can either already know, let's say you're tracking it for some reason, like you have a health condition or whatever. You Otherwise, you would go on like a calorie website. If you look up calorie calculator online, just any of the websites would be fine. But it'll ask you a couple questions, your age, your height, your weight, all that kind of stuff. You put all that in and it'll spit out a number. For most people, it would probably be in between like 22,000 to 3,000, let's say, just like big range. Whatever that number says, you're going to download like a calorie tracker app and you're going to start tracking your calories and you're going to eat anywhere between 100 and 500 calories more than that. So let's say you got 2,500 calories. You're going to be eating in between 2,600 and 3,000 calories in order to gain weight, and make sure that you're eating protein along with it. Kind of how the protein to fat to carb ratio when it comes to your macronutrients is you eat roughly 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. If you want to go up to 1 gram, that's completely fine. There's no issue with that. Then what you would do is you roughly eat 1/3 to 1/2 of your body weight. So 1 gram or half a gram ish per pound of body weight in fat. So that's your fat total. And you can get that from like avocado, nuts, peanut butter, eggs, things like that. Fattier foods that are obviously healthy for you. And then the rest of that goes straight to carbs if you're trying to optimize for muscle and strength building. So write those three things down. Write down everything I just said, go back, rewatch it, write all that stuff down when it comes to dieting because it's very, very important. Next thing is your week. The simple thing to fix this is progressive overload. You want to be training once to twice every 3 to 5 days. So every 3 days you want to be training once, or let me rephrase that. Every 3 to 6 days you want to be training at least one time. So you want to be training anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week, basically. If you do an asynchronized split, which is essentially it doesn't fit with the days of the week, so it's like instead of Monday it's push, and Tuesday it's pulled, and Wednesday it's legs, and then you repeat, and like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's always your rest day. What would be is something like push Monday, or push day 1, day 2 rest, day 3 pull, day 4 rest, day 5 legs, and then it'll repeat. But it won't always have the same rest days, and it won't always have the same days where you train this muscle group or that muscle group or whatever. Find a split that works. Keep it simple. Inside of my paid program, I will make a split completely for you. It's like a little bonus before I add the courses on how to do it yourself and adding the actual like workout routine and the splits in there. So if that's something that you're interested in, you don't want to spend any extra time figuring it out, then I recommend you go down. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be. Just quick little promo. Back to the video. You have your routine, and all you're going to do is you're going to set a rep range. So in the beginning, I recommend setting a rep range of anywhere between 6 and 10 reps for most movements. Don't go any lower because that's too strength based and you're not technical enough to where that's actually going to matter. You're not going to make the technical adaptations to actually gain that amount of strength. And 10, just because anything above that, you're not going to be gaining as much strength. It's going to be more endurance based. So the 6 to 10 rep range is how you build a general base of strength. Get stronger within that rep range. So how this will look is session 1. Let's say you're doing bench press. Let's say you're doing weighted pull-ups or pull-ups, for example. We'll go with weighted pull-ups. If you did 20 pounds last session for 8 reps, this session, okay, 20 pounds for 9 reps, 20 pounds for 10 reps, dope. Let's say you get 20 pounds for 10. Now, because you hit that top end of the rep range, what we're going to do is you're going to go back down in reps, or you're going to go to 8 reps or 9 reps, but you're going to add weight. So you're going to add 5 pounds. You're going to add 10 pounds. 10 pounds might be too much, but if you're a beginner, 10 pounds might work because you're going to be able to adapt so quickly as long as you're doing everything else right. Next thing. If you're stuck on training knowledge, so I'm kind of throwing a couple things at you that are just going to give you like a basis of knowledge. And these are all the lessons I wish I knew, because I kind of knew everybody kind of knows how to train. You know, progressive overload, you know, this works your biceps, and this is a bench press, and you know, like compound movements make you stronger than isolation movements, because compound movements you can move more weight. I'm trying to give you the actual information to progress long term for years. Next thing, you're stuck on training. You don't know what to do next. You plateau, you have some weird issue, you don't understand why you went down this week and up last week, and this week you went up and last week you went down on your weight. and everything's just strange and weird, if you're stuck, you need to gain more information. You need to be watching more educational videos like this. You need to be paying for courses and programs like mine, like any other athletes. Every athlete's program is good. I'm just saying mine's the best because it's mine. Any of them work. And the thing is, you want to buy all of them. You want to purchase all of them because if you actually are serious about getting better at calisthenics, at getting better at the sport, you need to understand that everybody has a little bit of a different opinion. So you're just idea searching to see what works 100% best for you. The methods that I give and the programs that I give are methods that have worked for me and my coaching clients and dozens and hundreds and even thousands of other athletes within other people's programs. So I've kind of like taken knowledge from their programs and I've applied it to what I'm doing and applied it to the other fundamentals of the other like training principles that I have and all these types of things and what I think is best versus what the best athletes think is best. It's like a culmination of everything. So if you're stuck on what to do, you simply need to just gain more knowledge. I have a book right here that I can grab for you. I have a book right here about recovering from training. You would think that's pretty simple. It's like sleep and then eat the right amount and then get a massage every once in a while. Well, no, it's not that complicated. This is like a 150-page book with frickin' diagrams on how to train. I've gotten to the point to where I know so much to where I need like a very detailed exercise science based book like this. You probably don't need that yet. You probably just need the basics of some guy with a buzz cut yelling at you, telling you to do more and telling you that you need to be consistent and trying to inspire you. You probably would prefer something like that. If that's helping you, then this next thing might not be an issue, which is staying consistent. Staying consistent, again, is the number one thing. Every athlete says this, and every athlete says this because all the beginners never do it and they always overlook it. If staying consistent is a problem for you, either do less in your training routine so you can build up the habit, build up the positive rapport with yourself, or fix it instantaneously. If you miss a day, next day you have to smash it. You have to go in. You have to hit it as hard as you can. You got to go hard. You got to get the best result you can. You need to push. You need to leave everything in the gym and on the table. That is what you need to do. If you want to stay consistent, literally all you have to do in order to like maximize this, you get a piece of paper, you like write out lines and you put like the day of the month downward. So it'll be like, I think it's like, oh God, it's June 5th today, June 5th, June 6th, June 7th, June 8th. You go all the way down the list as far as you can. And then you make a vertical line. So those lines were horizontal where you put the days of the week. Then you make a vertical line. Then you put gym where it has the vertical line. And then you check off the box for the days of the month that you actually attend the gym when you were supposed to. If you do that, if you have something visual to look at that you literally put up on your wall like a psychopath, that you literally, you see how I have papers back here? I would have my habit tracker right here on this wall. I don't have it there. I have it like on my computer because I'm always on my computer. I would look at it more than if I was on the wall, but be like a fucking psychopath with this. You need to look at it every single day and go, I'm going to check off as many of these boxes as possible. Making like a little habit tracker is the biggest cheat code that absolutely nobody talks about. And you need to do it because it's so valuable, especially for beginners. Because again, just trying to build up the habit is the most important thing in the beginning. And being consistent is also the most important thing in the beginning. And they go hand in hand and they're both together the most important attribute you could have. If I could download my brain into yours, the first thing that I would press a transfer on, the first button that would make me press transfer knowledge to Todd. Let's say your name's Todd. The first thing I would do is make you consistent, get you to the point to where you're disciplined enough to do it when you don't want to do it when you do want to do it when you don't really feel like it, to do it when you want to train at methods because you saw some random guy on Instagram do a cool skill or push a certain amount of weight on a weird exercise. I would like be into you. I would like spinning elbow type thing into your brain. Ignore all of it. Make your own progress. Do the thing that is absolutely best for your training and your goals. Don't flip flop because you saw some guy on social media do X, Y, and Z. Don't flip flop because you suddenly have a new skill that you want to do, that there is a new idea that you have. You need to focus on the mission, which is exactly why I made my paid community where all of the most serious athletes that could possibly exist are going to be in there because that is the standard that I'm going to set for my community. It's going to have courses on how to learn your first skills, how to start out is the one that I'm working on now, how to start off with calisthenics and weighted calisthenics. It's going to have group calls every 3 to 4 days. So if you go in right now, there's a calendar where you can see there's group calls literally every 3 days. And when you go in only for a limited time, you're going to get a personalized one-on-one call with me where we will go over your entire training routine. If you don't have one, we will make one, and we'll be talking about all the things that are hindering your progress and how you can fix it. That has been everything. My name has been Brandon. Keep doing the best at doing your best. Trust God. Signing off.